Jersey, LOC. Let's get it, baby. Yeah, yo, just the basics, man. Give the basis something hot, damn. It's a safe assumption. What's that we the shit.
Yo, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Pill Podcast. You know, pain is life, life is pain. Just get used to it. You got your boy Mo on this side, my man Kareem on the other side. Kareem, say what's up to the people.
What's up to the people?
Yeah. This episode we're gonna talk about with you know what it is. We here. You know, Cap has pretty much been playing the background, chilling, doing his due diligence, doing whatever he says. You know, his pledge for $1 million that he was going to donate of his own money and his jersey sales, right? It's $1 million of his own money plus jersey sales, and not just his own money, but but he's, I believe, at $900,000 right now in donations, as per his page. Where does he stand right now as far as the football situation? Is he going to play? Will he be able to play? The collusion that his lawyer is trying to prove between the owners to possibly either get him back in the league by intimidation maybe with this lawsuit, or, get a windfall for Cap for being out and pretty much in his prime and still being able to play better than half the players in the league right now. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not gonna take too much of a step backwards with this, because we've all been exposed to this. Millions of YouTubers and podcasts and everything have gone over this, but basically going forward from now, he has filed suit against the NFL. He has to prove that either two teams or one team and the NFL has basically acted together to stop him from playing in the NFL. That's going to be extremely difficult. So uphill battle. That's what, that's a real uphill battle. Just us as knowing sports and statistics, obviously that's the case, because we know as long as we have been watching NFL football, or anyone has been watching NFL football, all the owners and the GMs care about is winning. And they have brought people on their team with, very suspect backgrounds, murder, rape, abuse. They brought them on the team because they'll make the team better. So, we can go off of that, but obviously in the court of law, they can play games with words and say, no, well, it's because of this, it's because of that, because of this. So it's going to be an uphill battle. But just as you said, Cap has stayed, to his word. He has been a freedom fighter. He's given to charities. Didn't he just recently give to veterans? To a veteran?
Yeah, to Black Veterans of America, right. I believe. A foundation basically erected to help out with the with supporting Black vets of many wars, right. Because as Black people, what people don't seem to understand in this country, no matter whether we're vets, whether we're veterinarians, teachers, football players, sports icon, whatever it is, whatever we do, garbage man, doesn't matter. We're usually, given the treatment. And I say treatment, I mean like we're treated less than, right? We're not the standard. We're below standard in most people's eyes. So, it really, I sent you those posts earlier today about the whole him donating that $25,000 to that foundation, and the first response was from a gentleman who just seems to have the same ire and just vitriol that most Americans who don't see what Cap's doing as noble or as honorary, they look at it with such disgust, like, oh, why can't he give to all veterans? Don't you think that would be better? Okay, first of all,
this is the whole thing. Before you even go on, why does it matter? So let me ask you a question. Let's say he has an uncle who's 90 years old, who fought in Vietnam, and he decided to give the money directly to a foundation that he is involved with. Would you say, well, why didn't he give it to all foundations? Because you're choosing a particular foundation to give to, why does it matter if you didn't give to the rest of them? You're choosing a particular foundation to give charity to. That's, that's such a, once again, it's such a jerk off thing to say to somebody. Oh, I gave $1 million to so-and-so charity. Well, why didn't you give more? Excuse me? What? How dare you? You know what I mean? How dare you? That's like you giving to the ASPCA and someone saying, well, why didn't you give to a homeless shelter? Well, because that's the fund that I back and that I believe in, and that's what I wanted to give to. It's such a slap in the face to say that, and they don't even care. That's the whole thing. They just blatantly say this stuff, and it's wrong on so many levels. But it's like they don't even, once again, they don't even care. And that's what my whole issue with this is that you're making this about everything else except what it actually is about. And when the evidence is given, you run off and say, once again, I'm giving to Black veterans because there was veterans that came home, during the 60s, let's go back then, that fought for this country and couldn't take a piss in the bathroom when they got off the plane. They had to go 10 miles down the road because they were getting treated as secondary in the country that they just fought for. That's the reason why I gave to Black veterans. But so what? Do you know that there was white veterans that got their legs blown off? Like, dude, do you hear what I just said? You just ignored everything that I just said and made it about something completely different. And it's
you have Black veterans who were literally lynched in their uniforms when they came back from fighting war. I'm sorry.
A fact, not opinion, an actual fact that actually happened.
The fact that they're walking down the street or coming back feeling with their head up high, they just they fought for their country. They won this war. They beat the Nazis. Yeah, we was part of that. You coming back home, you feel like, I want to have a steak. I want to go have a coffee at the corner diner. Whites only, man, listen. I'm sitting on this counter. You see this uniform? You see this flag on my shoulder? Kidding me? See these stripes? Hey, nigger, what you doing over there? You see the sign? Come on, man. This wasn't hundreds of years ago. This wasn't even 100 years ago. Barely, a little over 50. And people seem to have amnesia. It's like you said, just because I choose to give to this particular charity doesn't mean I throw my middle finger up to every other charity. Exactly. It's not that. Joe said it. I think Joe said it the other day on Madison. He was like something, I'm paraphrasing, he said something like, as far as the Black Lives Matter comparison, just because somebody chooses to highlight one particular thing doesn't mean that it's bashing everything else. I'm not saying that it's better than everything else. It's just saying, hey, the fact that we want to highlight this is because historically we've been ignored. Historically, we've been disenfranchised. We've been put down. We've been disregarded, lynched, killed, murdered. So maybe we need to start, because listen, why don't you give to all veterans? Because listen, it's struggle on every level, but it just seems like Black struggle seems to be a little bit more than white struggle. I'm sorry. There are white people out here who are struggling, who are poor, right? But white poor ain't Black poor. I don't care what you want to say about it. It's not. It's not. Because at the end of the day, that white man can walk down the street with a beer in his hand and the cop pull up on him like, excuse me, sir, you can't be out here with that. Oh, fuck you, that's a free country. Sir, calm down, sir. Another situation, Black man walk down the street with a beer in his hand. Guns out, freeze.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly. Not to mention, just to take a step back, not to mention since I believe it was 2012, the Department of Defense has given the NFL over $6 million to perform these military ceremonies before the games. I think they said I got to look at my numbers, but I believe the Patriots received $700,000 to perform a military, a military
act of valor. Yes,
act of valor beforehand.
Yeah.
So let's not mention that this whole, disrespecting the flag, all this stuff like that. Come on, bro. Stop talking about it. That's not what it's about. Okay, if you don't agree that Black Lives Matter, that Black people are getting killed disproportionately, first of all, you don't agree, you're an idiot because it's a fact. But if you don't agree with it, just be honest and say you don't agree with it. Stop making up things and say, it's because he's disrespecting the flag. Meanwhile, a Navy SEAL veteran is the one that told him to kneel in the first place. You know what I mean? Don't say this it's disrespecting the flag when by you draping the flag over you is disrespecting it. By you having the flag horizontal on the field is disrespecting it. By you wearing a flag as a bathing suit or a full body outfit is disrespecting the flag. There's so many other things that they do. Stop. Just stop. You sound like idiots. And that's the whole thing. You're lying. Be who you want to be. If you don't believe in what he's doing it for, just say, I don't believe in what he's doing it for. Don't lie.
Don't say nothing. How about that? Just be quiet.
Right.
Okay?
Just shut up. It's not your fight.
Guess what? These guys kneeling on the field, it lasts for what? 60 seconds? 120 seconds?
And what are you doing at home? What are you doing at home when the national anthem comes on? You haven't even turned to the channel yet.
You haven't been watching it. You barely make the kickoff. Come on.
You're sitting down drinking a beer, man. Like stop, stop. And we're not living in, first and foremost, most importantly, especially with this Trump asshole, we don't live in Nazi Germany. I don't have to stand for the national anthem. I don't have to salute the flag. I don't have to do anything. This is not a dictatorship. Once again, this is not Nazi Germany. I don't have to do that. I'm an American. I was born here. I pay taxes, and I love this country. That's all that I have to do. I don't have to salute a flag or, take my hat off and all this foolishness like that, man. That doesn't prove it that I love this country. There's men who've done that, who have killed Americans, just like happened in Texas the other day. That guy was, I'm sure he stands for the national anthem. I'm sure he puts his hand over his heart. But he went into a church and killed 40 people. Come on, man. Stop. It's really getting annoying.
Look, like you said, man. I said shut up about it. Keep your mouth shut. If you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. But don't get me wrong. Like you're saying, what you're saying right now is we live in America. So you can say whatever you want. Feel however you want. That's the beauty of this whole situation, this whole country we live in, right? This whole American diaspora, right? It's the whole beauty of it. We can say and do whatever for the most part, within reason, of course. But see, here's the thing. When it comes to affecting somebody's pocket and bottom line, that seems wrong to me because we also live in a capitalist society, right? So the fact that you want to do harm to this man's livelihood because he takes a knee for a cause he believes in, that seems inherently wrong to me. And it just seems like a lot of, not all white people, some white people have this air of they think the playing field is level. But they think slavery is how long ago? You making millions of dollars. Come on, man.
That's the whole thing. Slavery is how long ago, but Jim Crow's not that long ago.
Jim Crow ain't that long ago, and the end of the day is, just because, say I'm in the league, just because I made it, there's hundreds, thousands of me's back home that didn't make it.
And last time I checked, they had to pass a law for you to give black people jobs fairly. I mean, that wasn't.
They had to pass laws to allow us to vote. They had to pass laws
I don't want to go that far back.
I know.
Laws, equal opportunity employment. was something that was started in the Reagan era. That was in the 80s. So, I mean, I can give you all of these examples that just recently happened, and that didn't even affect us. That
not disproportionately women. More people than us.
It helped white women. That's what that helped the most. So, you know, once again, you can tell me that slavery was 400 years ago. Hey, you're right. You're absolutely right.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't 400 years ago. It was actually 200.
200 years ago. Sorry. Yeah. It was started 400 years ago. But that's what I'm saying. It ended 200 years ago.
Well, 100. Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fine. You can tell me that. But I got a slew of other things that happened just recently. Just recently. Do I tell you that, hey, why do you still care about 9/11? That happened a long time ago. I wouldn't dare say that. Do I tell Jewish people, why do you care about the Holocaust? That happened, 60 years ago, 70 years ago. Do I tell them that? No, I would never say that. That would be ridiculous. You know what I mean? But you get to say to me, when Colin Kaepernick takes a knee for Black and brown people being shot by police right 2 weeks ago, you're telling me, well, what do you mean? That happened a long time ago. What does he mean? He's disrespecting the flag because you don't know what else to say. People are stupid, man. That's all it comes down to, and it's a sad.
That's pretty
I have my right. You have your right to tell me to stop kneeling, stop disrespecting the flag, and I have the right to call you stupid for freaking ignoring the problem. You live in America. Great.
And that's pretty much the bottom line, the ignorance of the actual purpose of this whole movement. And what I love about it, I didn't agree with it at first. Didn't agree with it, but not the movement. I mean, I didn't agree with the fact that Colin was remaining silent for the most part, right? I'm like, yo, man, speak up, man. Show these people what's up. But, hey, man, dude has been quiet. He's been quietly making moves, bubbling behind the scene, and putting his money where his mouth is, literally. And it proves that it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, how you dress, how you look, whatever. Some people gonna love you, some people gonna hate you. Period.
Facts. So,
just keep doing what you're doing. And that's a lesson for everybody, especially these kids out here, man. Just keep being you, end of the day. So, yo, thanks for joining us on this episode, Pill Podcast. Pain is life, life is pain. Just get used to it, baby.
Hey, yo, the more things change, they stay the same. Don't get caught up, so stay in your lane. When you're lost in the fame, and it starts to rain, hold your head up, it's part of the game.